Park, the Leicestershire circuit, for round 4 of the Thundersaloon Championship. Now, the basic rules for Thundersaloons are quite straightforward. You take an unsuspecting road car, you rip out whatever running gear, engine and suspension it might have had before, and come up with the most ludicrous engine, tyre, chassis combination you can possibly imagine, ranging from taking a humble Vauxhall Carlton, throwing away its straight 6 3-litre engine and shoving in a 5.7-litre V8, to taking a Sierra, taking out its Ford turbo engine and putting in a flat 6 turbo Porsche. Well, that isn't the fate of the Sierra that's leading at the moment. That has got a very powerful indeed Ford Sierra turbo engine, and right behind it a highly modified Mazda RX-7. In third place, the thundering 6-litre Carlton. Now, in Thundersaloons, anything goes. Any amount of modification, any number of different engine or tyre or suspension combinations are allowed. Basically, your depth of pocket and perhaps your imagination are the only limits. And to add a little interest, not only is there one driver on board the machine at the moment, but there's another one in the pits lurking as well. These drivers have to come in between 1/3 and 2/3 distances to hand over to their teammate. So the man who's leading now may just as easily not be the man who's leading after the tyre stops. Now, while that might be a little confusing for some of the spectators to try and find out where the leaders disappeared to, it certainly makes a very exciting race series. And these thundering machines are very spectacular indeed. The distinctive bellow of the General Motors Holden engine of the Carlton Thundersaloon, through the tight hairpin into first position. Mallory Park, quite a difficult circuit for car racing when you've got this amount of power on tap. This long right-hander, 180 degrees, Gerrard's corner, is a real test. And the 180-degree hairpin as well, ultra tight, also pretty specifically designed for catching out cars. And as you saw there, that certainly caught out somebody in their car. That was in fact an Opel Commodore, not an Opel Commodore, a General Motors Holden Commodore from Australia, one of the V8 racing machines that have so often been seen in action around Mount Panorama in the greatest touring car race on earth, the Bathurst 1000. This car not the same though. The current leader is a European Carlton shape, although it does run the same engine as the Holdens run around Panorama. And leading confidently at the moment as well. Through the S's, it's trouble. Now, will he get that restarted? No problem with being stuck in the gravel, yes. A few turns of the starter and the flooded engine coughs into life, and all that thundering power on racing slicks, making it more than somewhat tricky to get back off the grass and to try and find the circuit. But he's managed it at last. So that will undoubtedly have cost him third position, and probably quite a few besides. So, now the first few pit visitors going for the driver changes. The lead two, though, still out there, and power sliding the thundering Carlton out of the hairpin. So victory once more for the Carlton. Pete Stevens and Chris Millard from Mike Wilson and James McAlpine in the Mazda RX-7, and Stuart Donnan and Nigel James finally came back to third position in the coal and gas Ford Sierra.